destroying him. And he needed to tell the world that he was the guy who did it, even if it meant in the telling of it
Right.
that he would be destroying himself.
He says.
Yep.
Yeah, great, government official interviews, but when did you reach out? Did you attempt to reach out to any of the NSA or CIA whistleblowers that have come out and been, I guess, punished for it recently?
It happened later in the story, so we kind of had enough of it. I think, so the answer, we talked about it, but, oh, sorry. This was about the NSA or CIA whistleblowers who have more recently been under fire, in fact, are serving time right now and going through prosecutions. It happened later in the course of, as we were in the story, we had what we felt we needed on that part of the story. And so the answer is no, we did not reach out to them. It's a good question, but we didn't.
Yep.
Congratulations on the film. I want to address, maybe you can address for me, what the kind of conversations you and Alex had about what your intention with the film was. Like, our takeaway, should we be inspired to go out and find secrets and leak? Did you feel that you were bringing forward WikiLeaks' vision of freedom of information? And that's not, I'm not saying that in a critical way, because I feel somewhat inspired to go and find a secret.
Yeah, I think our intention was to tell the story. I don't think our intention was a specific politically provoked perspective.
Right.
And I think that our intention, and it's really Alex's intention, was to find the truth of the story in the individuals and in the subject itself overall. And, I applaud his courage in how dedicated and brilliantly he chased that down. That was the intention, and I think, or I hope anyway, that that's what the film accomplished.
Good.
All right, one last question.
We saw the wish list that WikiLeaks had
Yeah.
for info. Besides the Bradley Manning stuff, did they ever come up with anything significant in any other kind of leaks that were published? Or is the entire history of WikiLeaks sort of because of Bradley Manning?
Well, not the entire, but the big ones, the ones that made headlines around the world of the WikiLeaks leaks are attributable to Bradley Manning. But as the film talks about, there were others. There was the corruption in the Kenya election that they covered. There was a lot about the Swiss banks and the corruption within the Swiss bank system. There was the promise of a lot of other leaks. There was going to be a Bank of America leak that was going to blow apart Bank of America. There was the promise of a tremendous number of others that never actually did materialize. So I don't think I think you overstated a little but not a lot in how you just asked that, which is so that the majority, the lion's share of the most significant leaks are attributed to, are credited to Bradley Manning. And that's really what's said. In the end, this wasn't Julian, this was Bradley, and Bradley's the one that was forgotten in the story, and Bradley was the one who was virtually tortured, and we can debate about what torture is or whatever, which is insane that we have these debates, because it seems like, if, we used to say, I know pornography when I see it, I think we know torture when we see it too, but, so, I mean, it was a courageous act, and as the movie shows at the end of the movie, it was from his perspective clearly a moral act, and he was motivated by moral cause, whether you agree with it or don't agree with it, and it was for him a kind of universal morality versus the local morality in his army base, serving for the military, with what we were doing in Iraq, what he was seeing in the treatment around him, et cetera, that he didn't believe in, and instead found a more cosmic morality, And that was the significance of reading about Pale Blue Dot and sharing that with Adrian Lama, which was he had found that like where his morality lay was in a more universal sense than what was immediately in front of him, and those were significant to the choices that he made.
So tell us also about the release in Los Angeles. Do you know where it's opening and when?
We open on May 24th, and if you like it, please tell your friends. It's documentaries need a lot of help getting the word out. We open in 2 theaters here, at the ArcLight in Hollywood and at the Lemley in Santa Monica. And then we open in New York and LA on May 24th. We have a rollout to some other cities over the subsequent weeks. And we'll be in this kind of age of smashed windows, be available on video on demand on iTunes and through cable systems within a couple weeks of our theatrical release.
And has Juliet seen the film?
Well, when we were in Sundance, somebody asked the question. It was the first question somebody asked, and they said, "Has Julian Assange seen the film, and what has he said about it?" And Alex answered the question. He said, "I'll take the second part first. He's renounced the film, and secondly, no, he has not seen it."
Best of luck with the opening.
Thank you so much.